Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday in this case. So today was day 7 of my first week of X3, and I'll say I was very surprised with today. So today was Dymanix, and I just thought it was going to be a stretching, kind of like the mobility and recovery on X2 or X stretch and P90X1. Quite different. I actually burned 245 calories in this. Um, it's very fast paced. Got my heart pumping. Got a little bit of sweat at the end, believe it or not. And I loved it. I just really felt these stretches so much better than the other ones. So they're all about 30 seconds long. I'm just going to run through some of them real quickly. So you do leg lifts, you do abductor lifts, um, you do a lot of groin type of exercises, glute. You do some things that you've seen in PAP in X2 if you've done that, where you're on you're on your elbow on one side, so you're doing a left hip to up, say, hand over, and when you're angling your toe down to the lower than the heel, and you hold that for 30. I think everything's about 30 seconds. So really pretty good. Some nice lunges. Some hip circles, polka stretches, so you're really doing your glutes and your hammies a lot. You do a front back, kind of like body bees without weights, front back steps. Everything in X3 is when you're pulling your legs, when you're stretching them out, you're doing a double. You're doing a pull and then what he calls elongate the muscle. So it's twice. And so you do a lot of those types of things. Everything's different, by the way. You do glute rocker, which I really like. So you're doing your glute stretch where you usually you're on your back, knees are bent, and you're crossing one foot over the other knee, and you just grab the leg, the back of the leg, and you're pulling up. Well, you don't do that in this case. You actually rock back, and you're using your knee that's underneath to actually push it back, and you try to keep your back on the ground. Really, really good. Pigeon. It goes on. There's 29. You're doing Superman, spinal twist. It's really for the lower body. You're doing very little in the upper body stretching, but you're really working the lower body. The only think upper body one that you do is you're in a child pose, and you're putting your arms behind you and you collapse your hands and put them up. So it's really getting your shoulders. But you get a little bit of shoulder stuff because you're in plank a lot in some of these cases, or you're on the side. So really good. It went by pretty fast, and it was a full 30 minutes. I didn't do any stretch, cold start or anything because you don't really need it. That's what this is all about. So very, very positive on this one. Overall, the week, I loved it. I feel it in in the abs. You actually feel, if you do some of these exercises, I definitely, first of all, suggest do Dymanix every week instead of taking a rest day. I will, and I loved it. And you get your abs worked out in this too. So one thing for this week is you don't do ab ripper X3. It's not in the basic the program as we know. Well, I felt my core a lot today, and it was from yesterday's workout, the previous workouts, but also today's. So when you're doing some of these exercises, look at some of the advanced moves, and you're doing like a Pfeiffer scissor kind of interesting type of a move. You're really trying to stretch your legs out, but if you keep your legs off and your head up, you're going to get your abs done too. So I felt it in the abs. So overall, I'm happy with this week. I'm looking forward to next week, which is actually starting tomorrow, because now I've seen these once, I've done them once, and now it's time to push it. And I also, as I mentioned on the thread, I will do some lifting. And today I did a number of sets of bench presses I did 6 sets of bench presses real quick, not a lot of, went 10 reps down to 1, so I kind of almost did my max. And then I did seated curls, kind of like the Body Beast, 15, 12, 8, 8, 12, 15 reps, pretty fast. And I did some barbell curls. And I even burned 200 calories in that. And a lot of that was from Dymanix, still burning it down. So very good workout. I'll probably add some bicep exercises in tomorrow to the core synergistics, or the total synergistics now, and then maybe do some of some chest on the chest day, that the challenge, I think it's what it's called. I'm still learning these names, so really excited about today. I thought it was excellent. It is not one to miss, in my opinion. You actually work up a little bit of a sweat, and it's a fantastic stretch, and my lower back feels better, etc. So I'll keep them coming. So there won't be any next week because there's not any new programs for a couple of weeks until my recovery week. But I'll be back. Have a good one, and eat well and keep pushing hard.